The UK government has committed to promoting shared parenting from the earliest stages of pregnancy. Supporting mums, dads and partners to share the job of caring for babies is incredibly important. We need a package of changes to support this. The recent shared parental leave announcement is part of this package. The reforms should protect the health of mothers, babies and families, as well as promote gender equality. We should be supporting working parents to share care and give their babies the best possible start in life.
The proposed changes to maternity leave, similarly, will have wider health impacts too. The rights and access that a woman has to maternity leave can have a huge impact on how she copes with pregnancy and the first year of life. We know that financial insecurity, time constraints and stress are associated with a host of negative health outcomes for both mother and child.
The evidence is very clear. Fathers will take leave if it is A, individual, that is, it is only for fathers, and B, well paid. Individual and well paid. They will not take leave that is unpaid or low paid family entitlement, and are much less likely to use a well-paid family entitlement. If it's a family entitlement, fathers will not take it if it's unpaid.
They found in the course of that survey that 30,000 women were losing their jobs every year as a result of unlawful pregnancy discrimination. And we've also, looking at the Employment Tribunal statistics for last year, the most recent ones, I was horrified to see there's been a 30% increase in cases of pregnancy discrimination. And those are just the ones that go to the tribunals, because other findings show that for a lot of women who know they're suffering from discrimination on grounds of pregnancy, they won't go to the tribunal because they're too frightened of being treated badly at work afterwards, of not getting their jobs back. And even though the law's there, if you don't have a union to back you up, I've said it again, or you don't have the confidence or the support to take your employer on, it's a very daunting prospect.
Having rights on paper is not the same as being able to access and use those rights. Workers need to feel empowered to use their rights. And as we heard from Professor Warwick and Sarah Veal this morning, that empowerment is under very serious threat by other government initiatives.
I'd just like to take this opportunity, I think, to thank Maternity Action for this just absolutely great campaign, Value Maternity. It's a campaign that our women members have taken up massively over the last few weeks, and it's just given us a great insight, really, into the level of pregnancy discrimination that is going on out there amongst working people, but also our members, because quite clearly, I think it is important that we set the framework in terms of the wider economic climate at the moment.
We do want to see fathers' participation in the raising of their children and the time after birth with their children maximised. We know that's good for mothers. You know, the support of the father at home is supportive to mothers in terms of her health and well-being. We know it's good for children, it's good in the short term, it is actually good for children's long-term outcomes. It tends to predispose fathers to ongoing increased connection and involvement in their children's lives, with many other really good social gains as a result of that. I think it will be interesting to see what, if anything, ministers now have to say about a daddy quota, because I think there's plenty of good evidence, actually, that if you really want men to take leave, you have to give them something that's designated specifically for them.
And I can't overstate enough that when you've got rising unemployment for women, which is the fastest growing unemployed group, the vulnerability of women in the employment setting becomes that much greater.
We know that 30,000 women each year lost their jobs as a result of pregnancy discrimination in 2005, and that figure has undoubtedly increased since the economic downturn. And not only does this mean that women are less able to take the leave that they would like to take, but also that we can confidently say fathers who observe women being given a hard time in the workforce because they have taken leave are less likely to take up the rights that they will be entitled to under the new package.
Rebecca, an account manager, was keen to return to work after 26 weeks maternity leave, but she was exclusively breastfeeding her 5-month-old baby. After discussions with her employer, where she was told that the accommodation they could make for her was that she could use her lunch hour to express milk. She decided that she would rather not go back to work, carry on breastfeeding, and she actually took the full 52 weeks maternity leave instead. In both cases, Emma and Rebecca are left with little, or in Rebecca's case, no maternity leave to share after they've used the leave to avoid the health and safety risks that they would face at work.
Like Sarah, I feel enormous frustration that 40 years after the sex discrimination law came into force, and 20 years since I've been advising pregnant women and women on maternity leave, we're still here discussing discrimination because it hasn't gone away. And what I would say is I'm seeing exactly the same issues that arose 20 years ago arising now, and women saying to me, in the 21st century, I really didn't expect this to happen.
Sign up to support the Valuing Maternity campaign and help us to defend maternity rights and protect maternity services.